Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome and thanks for logging on. Today, if you love this watch, reach out to me. I am still Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we discuss a throwback to 1947. That was when Vulcain beat JLC to market with the first practical wrist alarm. The Vulcain Cricket later became famous as a watch often worn by, primarily because it was often given to, American presidents. And today we have a collaboration. It's actually a three-way collaboration between Vulcain, subversive Paris-based watch restylists Seconde, and Vulcain of Revolution magazine. So this is a special piece. It is a 25-piece limited edition in blue accents, and then we have a case in steel that's 39 millimeters in diameter, 13.3 millimeters thick, from lug tip to lug tip, 48 millimeters, with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. And this is the, just to be proper, this is the Vulcain Seconde Revolution Cricket Tradition. The Vulcain Salute. Vulcain Salute. Which one do you prefer? You don't have to choose, because this Vulcain is a tribute to Spock. Yes, I didn't make that up. Waco specifically said this is a tribute by Vulcain to everyone's favorite Vulcan. So all of that expressed, let's see how it fits. Surprisingly large, I'm going to say. Although a 39, the 48 millimeter lug-to-lug is fairly broad, and the lugs themselves are visually strong. So you can see down the barrel, I don't actually have a ton of clearance between the edge of the watch and the edge of my wrist. I do have some. So I think you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference, but despite its sub 40 millimeter diameter, not much smaller a wrist than that. However, it does have a dramatically domed plexi-like sapphire, and it is a sapphire, so it will slide underneath most cuffs. It's a good look, it's comfortable. It's also a little bit silly. As I mentioned, Seconde is primarily subversive, replacing seconds hands with all manner of things on vintage watches and contemporary pieces, and this is no exception. You could see the hand splayed in a Vulcan salute right there, and then the watch equipped with a large rectangular scale alligator leather strap. You could see it's a matte finish but large symmetrical scales. That's a very high grade cut of the animal when you have large rectangular symmetrical scales. The edge, as you could see here, is folded with a monotone stitch, and the bottom is calfskin. This is a brand new Vulcain strap. No crimping, no gouging, and we have pull tab spring bars. So you pull the tab and then you pop the strap right off the case. That's how that works. You can strap swap without tools. And then we've got a Vulcain buckle that includes a combination of polish and media blast. In profile, the watch is quite elegant. The lugs are very spare. I mentioned that they're visually prominent, and they are, but they're also rather narrow and handsomely tapered. And from lug to lug, the case and the lug profiles have wonderful flame surfacing with compound curves that really challenges the light over the contours and does wonderful things. This would be a photorealist's dream to draw or paint. And we've got a relatively strong bezel with a vertical lip and then a sharp conical profile before it flattens out again, giving way to one of the most dramatically domed sapphires outside of an HYT H0 or a Corum bubble. That is really quite prominent. This being a vintage-inspired watch, we have unsigned crowns with polished heads, and this sapphire is really something. It does give you the sort of off-axis distortion of a plexi, but you can see due to the stack of hands on the dial, it's also a practical consideration. Now, the dial is matte black, but we do have applique numerals and indices all radially arrayed, and a scale outboard that can be used for setting the alarm system. So the way this works is you can actually wind it in both directions, and in its default position, it sets just like that. Now there's a clutch system. You press 2 stops, press to 2 clicks, and now you can set the alarm. And you can hear a little tick inside the case when you put it into the alarm zone. So if you just want to impress your friends, then you just wait until you feel that little tick and then you push the crown back in and it will fire. And as you can see, it's capable of being set to about a resolution of 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how good you get with the setting system. Now, you can see the depth of the dial is actually quite something else. Turning it over, there's not a lot to see on the back. You've got the Revo logo with their red star here in shiny silver, limited edition. This is number 17 of 25. 50 meters water resistant. We've got a sort of media blast treatment over the center. And then we've got a case that, if you look carefully, you can see is actually set up to offer better sonic qualities than some of the historic crickets, which really lacked punch and really lived up to their insectoid name. This one's got a little bit more starch. This can actually wake you up if it's on your bedside at night. Now, what's inside? Well, it is Vulcain caliber V10, a legacy movement that's a manual wind with a 42-hour power reserve. It does not have hacking. It pivots on 25 joules, and it has the alarm capability. It beats away at a vintagey 18,000 vibrations per hour. Like I said, it's a legacy movement from Vulcain's glorious past. And this is a wonderful way to get into an alarm watch that very few people will recognize. And if Vulcain is niche, this three-way collab with Seconde, and Revolution makes it even more so. If you love history, but also practicality and exclusivity in your watches, this collaboration might be right up your alley. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.